Okay, guys. I just wanted to take a couple of moments to talk about my experiences so far with the Insta360 1R. First of all, one of the biggest things that I wanted in the Insta360 was the GPS overlay. So that's why I bought the GPS remote, because that was one of the things I was most interested in. Well, turns out that is only available if you use the phone for editing. Kind of disappointed with that. I don't have any interest at all in editing video with my phone. I know that others do, and they really like that feature, and it is the most advanced app I've ever seen for a camera. I agree with all of that, but I don't. That's not my workflow. That's not what I want to do. But I am interested. Different phones will do it better than my phone. I mean, my phone's a couple years old, so I'm gonna edit some video with some different phones and see how that works. I've seen so many people get sent the camera, right, and then they say, what, the best action camera ever. It's like the best thing that's happened since we got toasted bread. And then their very next video, they're using their original camera again. I mean, I've seen that happen multiple times. The adapter sticks, that's another thing, the adapter sticks out like 2 inches from the side of the camera, and the camera's already pretty good sized, you know, so it's, that doesn't help things. That doesn't help with mounting it. There is a lot of good things. I do like how you can reframe your video after you shoot it, and I kind of have to run it through the app anyway, because in anything but just bright sunlight, I feel like the video footage is really noisy. You know, it's not the best footage. It's like got a lot of noise in it, and I have to use their option to take the noise out of it, which does help a little bit. So I find that I have to do that a lot. So the workflow is something to get used to. And the reason I'm not really trying to complain about it as much as I'm just trying, hey, is there anybody else out there that has this camera that can kind of maybe suggest some different things, or maybe you're in agreement with me, like there's this extra step. Even if you're not using the 360 camera, even if you're not using the 360 lens, it just seems like, to get the best footage, you still got to run it through their program. Now, the program itself is pretty cool. It's free. I like that. It works really well. It doesn't crash. I like all the things. It's really easy to use, except for the cutting. You got to kind of figure that out, because it's different than anything I've ever used before. You slide these sliders and stuff as opposed to just making cuts. But it renders slow. It's not like it renders like Adobe Premiere. Adobe Premiere, multiple times faster. Their application uses like 8% of my computer's capability. I just feel like they could maybe some hardware decoding or stuff like that. So that's kind of some of the things that are bothering me about it. I do like the camera in daylight and bright sunlight. I mostly want to use the 360 mod. That's the reason I bought it. Oh, and that's another thing I'm disappointed in, is that the GPS overlay is not compatible with the 360 lens. You can't use 360 video and get the overlay. There's no file for it. There's no .gpx file. There's no text file or anything to use for making the overlay in another way. I don't know where it stores the GPS data. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know if it gets embedded into that .nsv file format, and that the information is embedded in the file. I don't know. But what I would like is it to give me a GPX file, a tracking file that I can use to do an overlay in another way. If when it's all said and done, Sony just is the best at this. Sony has a built-in GPS in their camera, and it outputs a text file that you can use in any way that you want. It's just, you know, better for people that want to use that feature. The feature that's built into the software, the phone software, by the way, there's all these things that you can only do with your phone. And the phone app is really awesome. But I'm just a guy that just does not want to use his phone for video editing. If I were somebody who made videos for TikTok or for Instagram or just little short little things for Facebook or something, yeah, maybe that would be cool. You know, to be able to just, you know, chop it up and slice it up and make cool videos for Facebook and stuff. But I'm not one of those guys. I want to use my computer. I just think it could be improved a little bit more than it is. As far as the video quality, you know, the video quality is another thing that I did not know this, but the video quality, even though you've got like a 5.7K video that you're recording for the 360, you're only using, you know, the framed part of it. I'm getting pretty good quality video out of my 360 video. I think I'm getting pretty excellent quality out of the 4K mod, as long as it's brightly lit, as long as it's brightly lit. And the same goes for the 360 lens. It has to be brightly lit. So these are just some thoughts that you know, that are going through my head. You know, initially using a camera like this for the first time. This is why these issues here are the reason why this camera is not going to replace a real action cam anytime soon. When you do the overlay with the phone and you have a video with the overlay on it, super cool, except you have no option to remove the actual GPS coordinates. I like to use direction, distance, route, that kind of thing, you know, but sometimes I don't want the exact GPS coordinates of where I'm at. I want the option to remove that, because I don't want people to know my exact location. I just want them to see the speed, the inclination, the elevation. I like that stuff on the video, but sometimes I don't want the exact GPS coordinates on the video. So I would really like an option to remove that. It's funny that you can make selections to add all the different things you want, remove it, everything. You can remove elevation, you can add elevation, you can add distance, you have all these choices, but when it comes to the GPS coordinates that's across the top of the video, you don't have any choice in that at all. And why can't I remove the GPS coordinates? What's the deal with that? I am finding it to be super useful. I'm just thinking about these things that I wish that were different. But anyway, maybe food for thought. Maybe the folks at Insta360 will see my video and go, oh yeah, you know, that guy makes some sense. He's using that camera in a different way, in a way that we didn't think about.